Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have TR Hamza's M140i back in again. If you watched the last video, we fitted a wave track diff, which made a huge difference to the car. And today we're fitting a set of MSS springs and also an Eventuri intake. So I'm going to take a look at the parts and then we'll get them on the car. I'll drive it and give you my driving impressions. So we'll start with the MSS kit. This is a height adjustable spring kit. We've made loads of videos of these on other cars. We'll put a link to those so you can check them out, but I'll just go over what makes these unique compared to a normal height adjustable kit. So these do work on stock dampers and also now on aftermarket dampers, so you can run them with something like a Bilstein B8. So they're height adjustable, and on the rear, which is the smart part about the MSS, is that these springs essentially stack on top of each other. And the black spring at the bottom is two separate spring rates in one spring, and that is the magic of the MSS kit. And that is another spring rate. So essentially on the rear you have three different spring rates, which just allows the car to handle all the different bumps and compressions in the road a lot better than a standard spring. And on the front, it's a traditional spring setup with the adjuster, so you can adjust the ride height, and together they both work really well. Any car I've tested the MSS on, it really does transform the handling. I haven't actually tested it out on M140. I have on like M135i and M235i. So I'm looking forward to see what difference it makes now, especially with a differential. So moving on to the Eventuri intake, this is heat shielded. It has a scoop for the front to allow more air to go in and an additional heat shield over here. We don't have our dyno set up at the moment, so we can't do any sort of before and after runs, but we thought we'd get this on the car now so Hamza can enjoy at least the sound that it produces, but we don't have any of the data at the moment. As soon as the dyno is up and running and we move to the next stage with this car, which is the fuel pump and the pure 800 turbo, we will do before and after test with the intake to show what the difference is. So for now, let's get the parts on the car and I'll join you afterwards. With the MSS suspension fitted, the PowerFlex bush inserts, and also the Eventuri, it's time to take the car for a little drive and see what it's like. So I can immediately tell the rear axle is a lot more fixed. It's not wandering around anymore, and it feels a lot more planted. The suspension itself, we've tested this many times. It just provides such a good level of comfort on roads like this, and it does improve the handling on the M140i no end. So where the car would feel like it's understeering, it's not doing so as much. So on hard braking there, the car's not pitching. I have to say the diff is amazing on this car, it really does make it, but those suspension changes have just tightened the car up a lot and just made it feel a lot more certain on these roads, and they do inspire a lot of confidence. So yeah, whereas you'd feel the back end kind of feeling disconnected to the car, it's not like that at all anymore. And he's still got some suspension mods to go on this car, so the next stage is going to be the M4 lower control arms and the underbody bracing, and also then a set of Bilstein B8 dampers. But so far I'm really impressed with just those two changes with the MSS and also the Powerflex subframe bush inserts. They've really tightened that back end up. It feels a lot better now. You can see why so many people do it and why it's such a popular mod on this car. You can really hear the Eventuri intake as well. Just adds that little bit of drama. Yeah, there's no way I could drive this car with this much confidence on these twisty roads beforehand. It's made a really positive impact. Yeah, turn-in's a lot better. And then when you accelerate, the car doesn't squat and jiggle around as much, which means more traction on the road. Since Hamza started this project, he's also changed the tyres, so it's got some Goodyear Super Sports on, which I would say feel to me like they're very comparable to Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, which says a lot. I mean, where it was losing traction before, it's not. And I'll let you guys into a bit of a secret. So you'll hear the intake is a bit more pronounced and the acceleration is a bit savage, and that's because since we did the install video and now Hamza has fitted a pure 800 turbo and a Dodge fuel pump, so the car is now running 491 wheel horsepower, which is around 560-70 horsepower. If you want to find out more about that process, you can follow him on his channel. We'll put a link up here so you can actually see the installation and then the dyno session tuning the car. But for now, I'm out on this video. Those handling mods have made a huge difference already, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the M4 lower control arms, the underbody bracing and the Bilstein dampers do to this car. I think it's going to make it even better, an absolute hoot to drive. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. If you want to join the conversation, please drop us a comment below and we will do our best to respond to you. And if you're running out of things to watch, why don't you watch one of these two?